Hi, so this is Ray's Rant for the Masses, and I'm doing another DVD movie review. This time I'm doing the X-Men Trilogy, seeing how the new X-Men movie is coming out. Everybody gotta know about the X-Men, right? So boom, I'm doing first one, X-Men 1.5. Now this DVD box set, not a lot of people own. I don't know why, because I love bonus features, so I definitely had to have this one. It has 5 hours worth of bonus features. Now, the first one I would say was pretty good for its time. I mean, well, it wasn't that old, but it came out in 2001. Now, it pretty much was one of the first comic book films, well, the famous one. I mean, we had ones before it. We had The Crow. We had what was another one? We had The Crow. We had Blade. We had Superman. We had Batman. But this one was the first like official one from Marvel, so it kicked everything into gear. So and one of the first ones to not have an all-star cast or at least a big famous name leading it. I mean, we had Hugh Jackman, we had Halle Berry, we had I don't know. The only two people in here that was famous was I forgot his name. I forget it. Besides the point. Um, so the first one comes out. It was pretty badass first time. I mean, a lot of people were upset that Wolverine did not have the yellow suit. That the X-Men didn't look like the way they did in the comic books, but that was something that I appreciated because, to be honest with you, I did not want to see Hugh Jackman in yellow spandex. It just didn't look right. Neither with that big, funny-looking mask. I mean, Batman it works, but Wolverine no. But I think they definitely brought a realisticness to it. They definitely did the only thing I thought was unrealistic was Mystique walking around with, just naked. I was just like, wait, why would she be naked? But then I thought, if she transformed into somebody, would her clothes change or was it the image? So that was that was just something I just didn't understand. But I was kind of upset that certain characters wasn't featured in the first one. I mean, they didn't have Beast, they didn't have Angel, they didn't have the original X team. But other than that, I'd still say it was pretty good. It definitely brought it was realistic, and that's what was so good about it. It shied away from the comic books. It was a good new take, and that's what was refreshing about it. So the next one was X Men United. Boom, see that X Men United. So basically, it's X2 X Men United. A lot of people just call it X Men 2, but it's X2. Now this one comes out. It was a good continuation. I mean, I liked Bryan Singer's work. Um, it continued on the story. The only thing I hated was that in the first one, he killed off all the Brotherhood. Basically, he killed off Toad, he killed off Sabretooth. I don't understand how you kill off Sabretooth, but he killed them off. So all that's left is Mystique and Magneto. So, well, what else can we do? Oh, boom, we can do, mutants actually going against humans. Because that was a big theme in the comic books, whereas everybody was like, oh, let's see mutant versus mutant, but we did that in the first one. We don't need to see it again. So they moved on to something else. But the thing that kind of frustrated with me, though, was that they dove into Wolverine's story, which was great because everybody loves Wolverine. Not everybody, he's a little overrated, but um, people wanted to know more. That's one of their favorite characters. They decided to go into it, and I still was rewarded with it because it didn't give anything away. I guess he decided that it would have been smarter to do his own, for that to be separated as his own film, which is now X-Men Origins Wolverine. So the only thing I would have liked better was if they did the human side story, just did not make it about Wolverine, because I felt like the first one was about Wolverine. He was a newcomer coming in. The second one they do the same thing where it's more about Wolverine, and now a little bit of Nightcrawler, and they put him in the Weapon X project, which I don't think he was in, and I'm pretty sure he wasn't. And then they do the third one, which I'm about to discuss now, which is X-Men Last Stand, and once again it's about Wolverine. So, um, concerning the bonus features about the first one was great, but it didn't do anything about the it didn't say anything about the X-Men really in comic books and their effect on comic books. The second one did, which was great, and they also talked about the history of Nightcrawler, where did he come from, how did they do the effects, all that good stuff that you want to know about the movie. Boom, they're in both discs. So I would recommend getting X-Men 1.5 and the 2 disc X-Men one, or the Blu-rays which just came out. So then comes the third one. Now, this one frustrated the hell out of me because it didn't stay true to anything. I mean, I can excuse, yeah, this is the box, just to let you know. So I can excuse the fact that, Mystique didn't in the movies she did not, you know, adopt Rogue. I can understand that Nightcrawler wasn't her son. I can understand, all these different things, costume changes, um, all that stuff forgivable. Even Lady Deathstrike not having that whole thing, I'll let them go away with that. But there were certain things that I felt that they forced into this third one that just did not need to be there. The Juggernaut pissed me off because it wasn't the Juggernaut that we knew and loved. He was way too tiny. They did not show the massive amount of power he has. He did not have the gem. He was not the brother of, the stepbrother of Xavier like he is in the comic books. That just ruined it. Then the Phoenix Saga was all compressed. It just felt like I understand like where they were going with it, but I felt Juggernaut could have been his own story alone. Um, she could have been her own story alone, but they decided to say, hey, this might be the last one with Fall in a Minute. Boom, let's just put everything we possibly can in it. Then Xavier dying and not really being dead. Scott dying. Scott never died in the comic books. It was way too much. I guess they just tried to show how bad Phoenix was by killing off Scott, as well as the fact that he was doing Superman at the same time. So they're like, hey, let's kill him off. So this movie just frustrated the hell out of me. It wasn't even like by itself. By itself, it was pretty cool. I mean, if you don't know about the comic books, but as a comic book fan, it just frustrated me. As a non-comic book fan, it was pretty good. So I'll give and the bonus features. It has zero bonus features basically. It has commentary and deleted scenes. Ooh, whoop de doo. I could have survived without the commentary and deleted scenes. I just felt that um, they could have put more, especially with a collector's edition like this. They could have put a ton of bonus features, but they didn't. They basically just gave you a nice, really cool box, and then inside that box they give you, the regular movie that everybody has, and a comic book. So you're spending like $20 more for just a book and a nice, cool packaging. Um, so basically, what do I discuss now? Oh, that was my review on all three X-Men. Um, and one last thing. One thing I have to mention, the whole Angel thing. I didn't understand that. You put Angel in the third one to have him just be some guy who comes in at the end, no shirt. Hey, Dad, I'm gonna save you. What was the point? I understand that Angel doesn't have. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have super strength. He doesn't have regenerability. But does he have to be like the whole sex appeal of the entire film? I understand that he stood as a symbol, but damn, couldn't you do something else with the character? Like, Jesus Christ, didn't you have enough going on with the Cure, Juggernaut, Phoenix? Oh, yeah, let's just throw Angel in and Beast. Makes perfect amount of sense, just throwing a massive amount of characters. I understand you're trying to do the world. You could have saved for a part 4. I mean, people demand it now, but since you just ruined the franchise, now you gotta do a spin-off. So, basically, my review is the first one, I'll give it an 8, right? Like, I'll give the second one about the same thing. I'll give it an 8. And then the last one, I'll give a 6 max. And that's my review for the X-Men franchise. So this is Ray's Rant for the Masses, and I'll catch you later.